Brooks Running reminds us that we're all powered by something. Whether it's the me-time energy of a run after a day at the office, the electrifying energy of your first marathon, or the infectious energy of a group run with your friends. No matter what energy powers you, Brooks has gear specifically designed to unleash it. So lace up and let it out. Let's run there. Visit brooksrunning.com today to learn more.
This episode is brought to you by Diet Coke. You know that moment when you just need to hit pause and refresh? An ice-cold Diet Coke isn't just a break. It's your chance to catch your breath and savor a moment that's all about you. Always refreshing, still the same great taste. Diet Coke. Make time for you time.
And welcome back to the Boundary Corner Podcast, a part of the College Huddle Network, along with my partners Brian Siegler, Jonathan Talley, and Shelton Moss. I am Curtis Wilson, and we are brought to you by Dr. Jeremy Counts down at the Counts Family Pharmacy, your friendly neighborhood pharmacy, 301 South Main Street in Blacksburg. Hey, everybody's back.
What's up? Full boat. Let's go.
Let's roll.
How's everybody doing this evening, Tally?
Monitoring weather. We got tornado warnings all around, so if y'all lose me, y'all better send the authorities. Make sure I'm all right down here. It's a tornado warning every day in Huntsville, so, I mean, I ain't saying that it ain't real, because they are real, but it's just like, I can only get in that safe space so many times. You know what I'm saying? Too big to be in that little bitty spot.
Tally, I'm not going to send the authorities. I'm going to send Glenn Powell after you.
That'll be fine. Come on.
He's going to take care of you.
Send them on.
And welcome back, Shelton. We have not seen Shelton that much basically since February. Shelton, how you doing? I mean, season's over finally, right?
Yep, I've been busy with college baseball season, which takes up all my time, but it's good to be back. We were in Charleston last weekend for the conference tournament, which was it was good. I mean, we didn't do well in the field, but that did not prevent me from having a good time in Charleston. So glad that's all wrapped up now, and I got a bunch of free time. So happy to be back on for the summer.
Awesome. Well, love that you had a good time down in Charleston. Great city, great food, great running place, great drinks. I'll be going there in a month. So
how many times are you going this year, Curtis? How many times is your mom going this year?
My mom is on. She just got back today, which was trip number 3 to Charleston. She's going in a month with us. That's going to be trip number 4, and I think she's going one time near the end of the summer. My mom's going to Charleston 5 times this year. Now there's family down there. My aunt lives down there. My cousins live down there. So my cousins, both him. He graduated South Carolina. His son is a junior down there. I'm expecting them to just give me so much shit leading up to Atlanta. Like I'm already prepared for it. So is what it is.
Let's hope we got some shit to give back to him come into August.
That'd be nice. So everybody's good here. Brian, what have you been up to? I know you sent some good bourbon. Did you send Tally the bourbon picture, by the way? I think you've.
I did. I got to send it that way. Yeah, we had some good bourbon down at the in-laws this weekend. Thursday, I bought a Jeep. So,
kind of Jeep?
Willis, 2020.
Oh, you got a real Jeep.
Oh,
you got a Wrangler. You got a real Jeep.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. Jeeps are a lot of fun. So make sure you don't have too much fun. You old. Don't be out here.
I'm gonna have a little fun.
Don't be out here jumping hills and sand dunes and stuff like that. Because it'll do it, especially that Willis.
Yes, sir.
It looks good. I've seen the picture of it. It looks good.
Black rims on it.
Yeah.
They're nice.
I got the Stingray.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's good.
You just go ahead and get the picture and share it so everybody can see your new whip, man. I mean, shit. I got told about it last Thursday and got to see it last. I hadn't seen it in person yet. I don't know if you're coming over this week, but if you are, I'm gonna take a break and go see the new Jeep. If not, I'll see it in 2 weeks. So, absolutely. So, obviously, we're back. You know, it's the summer lull. Week here, week there. We're on, we're off. And tonight, before we get into what the episode's all about, there are two things I want to break down real quick. First of all, if y'all did not see, I think they finally rounded out the strength and conditioning tab, and they hired Jeffrey Eden just a few days ago. Guy's been all over the country as some sort of athletic trainer, athletic director, strength and conditioning coach. But that picture, I sent it to the chat. First thing Tally screams is,
he looked mean.
He does look mean.
Yeah.
Then
strength and conditioning coaches have a certain look that you just don't want to mess with them. Certain ones, you know what I'm saying? So and they got a couple on that staff that I probably wouldn't want to piss off. If they say lift the weight, I'm probably gonna try to lift the weight. I'm trying to get it up.
Yeah, I think between him and Ferg, the way they look at you, I could be pretty motivated to lift some weights.
Damn right. Let me see. Oh, that's right. He came from Miami. Everybody, look at you, King. He follows the Hokies more than he does Miami. Y'all know that.
I know he got all kind of maroon in his house.
He had Miami and Oregon too, right? He was at Oregon for a bit.
He was at Oregon for a bit as well. Now, Shelton, you got some intel, a little bit of insight. A couple guys you know had good things to say about him, correct?
Yeah, just a little shout out. Our strength coach chair at W&M, who I work with. I go in the weight room a lot. Just see him around a lot. He has some high praise for him. So again, I mean that's kind of just giving a bit of a shout out and congrats. But I thought that was nice to see kind of the interstate mingling there. Give him a shout out for the hire.
Yeah, it's cool to see this. They round the staff out. It looks like it's a staff of obviously Ferg. He felt like he deserved probably a chance a few years ago. He brought in some fellow Hokies back along with some new blood in there. So it's good to see that. And I think the staff is now done, right? There ain't nobody else to hire or fire. I mean, there's always people to fire, but that depends on.
I think if they're hiring anyone at this point, they're hiring new positions.
Yeah, which we need. So we'll go ahead and say that. The other piece I wanted to hit is it looks like this is going to take place, and I just wanted to get y'all's opinions on it, is college football playoff. Tally make the joke, Kurt, we ain't going to be there, so why you care about it? I care about it. It's on your ass. But we are no longer – conference championships doesn't matter anymore. You win, you still in. The top five are still in, but now it's just that straight seeding down, 1 to 16, because that's the way it's going to look. 1 to 12 probably this year. Y'all like, y'all hate, y'all don't give a damn. It's fair, it's not fair, because it did feel like, in my opinion, Oregon just got jobbed last year, getting lined up with Ohio State.
Let me ask this. Would you prefer having the conference champion be in regardless, but it still be seeded based on committee? Or would you rather every conference get one automatic bid regardless of whether they're conference champion or not? Same seating.
Give me a second.
What you think, Tyler?
I've also lost communication here.
I don't know, man.
I guess, do we care enough about conference championship as long as every P4 conference is getting an automatic bid anyway?
I think as long as they get automatic bids, I think it's to me. I think as long as you get the bid in, I don't think it should matter one way or the other. I mean, the way. Well, yeah, you see Chris
on our ass. Hey, I asked a good question. Everybody was dumbstruck.
We were dumbstruck here.
Yeah, it's a good question, but it's just like Curtis. I mean, I don't know, man. It's like if you're getting a bid,
you get a bid.
You get the bid.
It's you get a seat at the bigger part about it is getting a seat at the table.
Right.
That's the most important part. As long as there is a seat at the table in the correct manner, then it doesn't matter. Because people can say, well, you got to go this many games and you got to play this team. Be like, okay, what if you beat that team?
Right.
Like that's the goal, is to win. And people say, well, that's a tougher path. Like, you say what you want to say what Ohio State did. They had to play Tennessee. That stadium was 70-30.
Yeah. Like,
they did not have a full home field advantage. Then they had to go to the Rose Bowl with Oregon off a bye. Yep, they played Oregon tight, and then they beat that ass. And then the next game was the Texas game. It doesn't matter. You're going to have to beat 4 probably very good teams to win a national title from now on.
So you have to play somebody. You have to play somebody good. I mean, somebody's road could be easier, but you got to play somebody good to get there anyway. So it's like you got to be built to win when you get to that position anyway. So it's like it don't matter. It does matter, but it don't matter who you're playing first. It don't matter as much because you got to win to get there. So
yeah.
Sheldon,
my thought is that, like, the conference championships in my mind mattered more when it had to be the differentiator of potentially who represented your conference in a 4-team playoff, or
I agree.
Or, would you be going to a 4-team playoff because of your conference championship game? And I think that matters so much less now that, I mean, even we saw it this year, like a lot of teams that had stuff locked up, like almost didn't want to play the game, but did because it's like, well, there was something attached to it, but I don't think it really matters so much from a who's in or who's out, because more than likely, if a team would have been in before the conference championship, they're going to be in after the conference championship. So you're basically, I think, in some ways undermining the regular season because you're throwing in a potential conference champion that maybe didn't have the resume to do it because of that automatic bid.
Sheldon, I want to say something, but I want to give you a moment if you've got anything to add.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who grew up watching FCS football, who kind of has a different perspective on this, just seeing a much more, well-structured playoff. I think conference title games, like Brian was alluding to, made sense in a bowl and limited playoff system. They do not make any sense in an expanded playoff system because theoretically, you should be in if you win the regular season. That's the reward for being good in the season is the auto bid for winning an 8 or 9 game regular season. So but again, they make money, so it's like they're not going to get rid of it. But it plays into the seeding. I don't know. I mean, I don't have an issue with the change to getting rid of the auto bids. But I will say I feel like people are going to complain when the committee shows favoritism to the SEC and Big Ten schools, like no auto bids. Okay, so they can put whoever they want at the 1 seed, at the 2 seed. So that's kind of the trade-off you make there.
See, my bigger point is you really want to make the regular season matter. And Jim put it up here. I'm going to throw it up here real quick, what Jim said. If you win your regular – and it's kind of if you win a regular season P4 title, you don't need to play that first. You don't need to play a championship game. basically what you look at the championship game to me, and I know it's being floated, it's going to happen probably in the Big 12 and the ACC and somewhat the SEC and the Big 10 is your regular season. You went 8-1. Well, nobody as good as you in the regular season. You're in. You're regular. And then say now to get that next seeding or to get the next two seedings, okay, you got to go win another game. You ain't going to just get shoved in. You've actually got to do something to prove it. And to me, that becomes that makes the regular season more valuable. Win the regular season title, get a bye, or you're straight into the playoff. You ain't got to play another game. And then it's even bigger because, as stupid as it sounds, and I always say this, some system like that, like where Tech was last year at the beginning of November. Listen, you win the rest of your games, you win out, you have a chance to play your way in. It makes the regular season more.
Yeah, let me ask you this though. So, what I don't like about that is that now you're going to potentially have a handful of at-larges that didn't have to play an extra game that those 2 seeds in the conference did, right? So in theory, I mean, most of the time, anybody that's an at-large was probably playing in those games anyway, most of the time. But there's going to be some instances where that was not the case.
Then that is what it is. I mean, no system's going to be perfect, but the upside is likely they're going to have to go on the road.
I'd much rather go ahead and start the playoffs earlier than do a play in there.
So you're just saying regular season chance, go in, and then the next best 12.
Whatever your tiebreakers are, that's how you get the automatic bids versus the at-large bids.
Right.
And go ahead and start the damn playoffs so you can have more home games and let these things actually play out on campus as early as they can, and then move them to the bowls in the latter half like we've seen.
The latter 3.
Yep, exactly.
And nobody gets a bye. I mean,
if we're going to 16, that's the way to do it, in my opinion.
Just straight, basically after Thanksgiving, that weekend.
March Madness in November.
Yeah. The first weekend most time would be in November or early December, right?
Yep.
Like chaos on.
It'll be either the last weekend of November or the first
Christmas
weekend
chaos.
of December.
Christmas
it'll
chaos.
Crazy.
Exactly. All righty. So I always like to talk about that stuff because that's going to be the future of college football, whether you like it or not, because money rules everything. It's cream. Y'all know it. Got you smiling like Callie caught that. It's cream. $100 bill. It's all that matters nowadays. So let's roll on and let's have some fun tonight, because for those who were catching it beforehand, Brian, I'll let you put the little thing up here. This is something I've been wanting to do for about 3 years now, maybe longer, but I've always wanted to do something where you sit here and you talk about you had to put a dream team together. And let's get into that first. What is a dream team? Brian, you posed a question to us 3 earlier, so I'm going to let you have the floor. But what's a dream team in your opinion? And then Shelton, Tally, myself will answer that as well.
All right. To me, a dream team is not a team where you're saying, I want the absolute highest achieving player at this position to go out there. A dream team to me is, I want the best overall team, the team and the players at each position that I would be willing to put up against the best from an Alabama, the best from a Michigan, the best from a Penn State. Like if we were taking this on the road and had to play games with this team, this is the person I would want at these positions. So this isn't necessary, like stats play into this, but this is not a who has the best numbers, who looked the most dominant. It's about who would you put on this team to go out there and play against these other best teams from these other schools. That's how I was looking at it when I built my team. So I'll let someone go next who wants to explain what they did in their process.
No, yeah, similar thing. But you also, for me, whenever you're talking about dream team, because it always comes up with like basketball, of course, right?
Always.
But when you talk about a dream team, it's also who you enjoy watching play. Like who you enjoyed, or who you were able to see play. So maybe it was somebody back in the 1900s that I didn't watch play that was much better than anybody that we seen. So, it's you always get the LeBron, Kobe, Jordan argument, right?
Always.
I'm a Kobe guy. Like, Kobe's my guy. That's who I watch play the most. I thought he was, I'm not saying he was the best player. I'm not saying he was the most dominant. I'm not saying he's the best NBA player ever. I'm just saying, like, if I'm starting a dream team, he's gonna be at my 2. So comes down to a lot of what Brian said, but also throw in the aspect of who you enjoyed watching or who you have some history of watching.
Sheldon?
Yeah, I mean, I tried to find a balance between, like, pure production and raw talent. Because I just think, some guys, like, they'll put up numbers, but maybe aren't necessarily, like, the best player, or they might be the most talented, but they don't. A guy like Cam Chancellor, he didn't necessarily show that right away, and obviously goes on to have a really good productive NFL career, but doesn't really blossom at that particular time. So for me, it's just pure ability and production and talent, the combination of that. Like Brian said, can you actually win me a football game against the best of the best? That to me is sort of the standard from which I judge.
Yeah, y'all summed it up in so many ways, and that's what went through my head. Raw talent, statistics. I like what Tally said. Who I like to play. Y'all will see that come in later, because it's one thing, but then it's elements of their game, right? Because certain guys did certain things better than other guys, and you're like, you got to have that. Certain guys were just straight up dogs. Like, I want that guy playing. Like, that guy's not going to let somebody beat him. That guy's not going to get tackled easy. So it's a lot of fun. This is the first of 2, because tonight we're doing the offense. We're going to figure out when we're going to do the defense, because Tally's going on a cruise. Shelton's going to Arizona. I'm going to Charleston. Brian's staycation in multiple places this summer. So we're going to find a second one to do the defense. But tonight we are starting with the offense. And I know we got a lot of folks watching out there tonight. Feel free to put in the comments yours. And this is kind of the breakdown. 1 quarterback. Yep, 1 quarterback. I know everybody's like, what about 2 deep? 1 quarterback. Because your 1 quarterback ain't going to never come out. Y'all know that. Tight ends, we went 2. Wide receivers, we went 5. Linemen, we went 7, because legitimate, Brian can attest to this from playing in college. Tally probably can attest to it, and Shelton probably can attest to it. We all can attest to it. Usually you're rotating about 7 linemen. Your 7 best linemen are going to play at some point, and then running backs 3. Andretti, you didn't got defense on there, man. This is just offense tonight, just offense. And don't worry, we're going to pull it up here in just a second.
Robbie with the exciting whites.
The exciting white.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Not a black man in sight, Robbie. What's going on?
You got the ginger on there. So let's start it up. Brian, bring up the first category here. And we are starting with the quarterbacks. And I'm going to lead the charge on this one, because in my personal opinion, and we're going to go through all 4 of us and then start arguing and cursing and letting people get pissed off at us in the chat. My personal opinion, there's only one, Mr. Electricity, MV7. Michael Vick will be my card and quarterback for this dream team. Brian?
Yeah, I went through a couple different scenarios here, but it came down to, from just an overall ability standpoint, who would I trust to spin it in a game? And it's got to be Mike Vick.
Tally.
So everybody knows Michael Vick is my favorite player. So, I mean, it's only one answer that really can go in this, but I did not pick him. I did not pick Michael Vick because that was the obvious answer. And in my mind, I said, if Michael Vick's not available, because everybody's going to pick Michael Vick, who would I go with? And I had to go with Gerard Evans. Not only that, if you think about what Gerard did, and I know we'll talk about it a little bit, you go back and look at his production, it was off the charts, man. Like, I don't think Virginia Tech's seen a quarterback. I know we ain't seen a quarterback do what he done ever in a long time, so I had to go with Gerard, man, the GOAT.
All right, and Shelton.
Yeah, so I became a little bit of a contrarian here. I went Tyrod, and not saying it's better than MV7, but I just think from a pure passing production standpoint, I really like him. I also think he just had such an insane work ethic and leadership ability that's a guy I want leading my team. So no disrespect to MV7, but I just think he was a guy that I want in that that winner take all situation to lead my team.
I will caveat my Michael Vick pick in that more than any other Virginia Tech quarterback, we got to see what Mike could do after Virginia Tech.
Right.
And I think because of that, we know where not only we saw how he impacted the quarterback position both at the college and the NFL level, but we also saw how he grew as a quarterback because of what he was able to do in the next level.
Right.
So we know where his ceiling is a lot more than I think we know Gerard in particular, obviously Tyrod to a lesser extent with him having some starting experience in the NFL, but still more of a limited role throughout his career.
By the way, if everybody's wondering, because I had to look it up with Gerard Evans when Tally sent me this 1 year, 3,500 yards, 29 touchdown passes, 8 picks, 846 rushing yards, and 12 touchdowns.
A boss.
40 touchdowns accounted for, 8 picks.
The man.
I mean, that season he had back in 2016 was unbelievable. And that's why it's like, I wouldn't downplay him on that. And for me, it wasn't Gerard, but Shelton. I was like fencing between Vic and Taylor because it was 2 separate times in my life.
Right.
Mike Vick, I was 16 years old. And that season was like, you go back and think about the memories being 16. Now I'm 41. Yeah, 41. And it's like, oh my gosh, that was still unbelievable things I've seen. But Tyrod was in my mid-20s.
Yeah.
And winning ACC titles, knowing how good it was. I just the one thing that'll always get me. It's a good question. Maybe we do that in a few.
Not
weeks.
Anybody we've ever had.
You're
get
damn
somebody
right.
else. Get somebody from another school.
Ricky
But
Bustle.
I don't know. Ricky Bustle.
Yeah.
I mean, Ricky Bustle fucked it up the least.
Yeah.
Right.
If we be honest.
Right.
But Tyrod for those years in the mid-2000s, I mean, you're right. The leadership was there. The numbers were there. I mean, before Logan, 7,000 career passing yards, 44 touchdowns, 20 picks. And so, I see some people putting out there, Andretti's throwing some running backs. We're going to get there in a little while. Andretti, hold tight. But was there anybody else? Because some people, Tally, we didn't get what we expected. I expected someone who is 10 years older than me say Drunken Miller.
I thought somebody was going to definitely say Drunken Miller by now.
Definitely thought somebody was going to say Drunken Miller.
Right.
Who else? What else?
I don't know, man. Like another thing you have to think about whenever you're looking at like a dream team, you're looking at a Virginia Tech dream team, right? So it's not like potential. I mean, it is because it's so hard because like you have to think of the overall of what they've done.
Yep.
But realistically, when you're creating a dream team, you're just talking about for that team. You know what I'm saying? Once again, I go back to basketball. When you talk about the greats of Laker fan, you think about what Shaq did for the Lakers. The Shaq that played for Cleveland or the Celtics was a different Shaq. So he's probably not on their all-time team, but he's definitely on the all-time Laker team. So that's another reason why I kind of, went with what I did. Again, it would always be Michael Vick for me because Michael Vick is my guy. Like that, he is the guy. But also when you're creating this, I didn't feel like we could leave Gerard Evans off of this list just because if you look at a pure numbers perspective, again, Michael Vick was the number 1 pick, not downplaying anything he done. He had a year where he had, 8 touchdowns and 6 picks, from a quarterback perspective, throwing the ball. And then if you look at rushing yards, Gerard had more rushing yards than him in a single season.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me to even think that could happen. But again, that ball was much different than the ball that Gerard played or Tyrod played, or even look at what Tyrod did. He just had that it factor. You know what I'm saying? Winning games in the last second and things like that. So I can see why he's on that list. I can see why Sheldon would say, I want him to lead my team. Again, just looking at what they done in a Virginia Tech jersey is another reason why I kind of went with some of the picks that I went with. Because once you start looking at, NFL and what they've done for the community and stuff like that, yeah, of course it sways you. You know what I mean? Because you're seeing, like Brian said, the full potential of Michael Vick once he got to the league.
What about this one? and Dirty said he want Michael Brewer. Michael Brewer, because Michael Brewer wins big games in tough places.
Big game Brewer.
Big game Brewer.
I'll say this when we think about Mike relative to Gerard. I mean, and to some degree relative to Tyrod, even like put Mike in a spread offense, and it would be insane what his numbers would have done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I mean, I know it's it's hard to like look at his stats relative to some of the quarterbacks that played 2010 and later that played in more open systems that had a true focus on generating offense on the ground with the quarterback, but still spread enough where there's room to operate and throw it as well, both short and intermediate. Most of what Mike was doing was, handing the ball off some power options and then chucking it deep
and just scrambling.
He revolutionized the quarterback position. I mean, it's nothing. You can go back and watch some Michael Vick highlights. You know how hard it had to be to be an offensive coordinator, to have him as easy as some people think it would be. Like, it had to be so hard, because if he goes on a bootleg or he goes to roll out, he's getting to that spot much faster than anybody else on the team.
Mm-hmm.
So he's there faster than the wide receivers. He's sitting back there waiting for somebody to get to the spot where they need him to be. So whatever play they drew up, he had to change it, like, because he was so fast. You know what I'm saying? He was so quick, and his arm was a rocket. So it was crazy, man. I go back a lot of times and watch some of his highlights, and it's ridiculous to me that he never seems like he's in distress, like he's running full speed.
It was
much faster than everybody on the field.
In Tally, that was 26 years ago. That's the level in where he is. Throw that one back up there. This is the one that tore Brian's heart too.
Oh yeah,
poor Brian Randall. I mean, great leader.
I wanted to do it. I was like, I can't quite make the justification here. I can't quite do it. I'm surprised that none of the old heads have thrown Don Strock out there. We will ignore the interception count in 72.
Yes, you ignore the interception. And anybody that played like pre-1992, you have to ignore the interception counts, because back then you could just murder wideouts and murder quarterbacks. People didn't care. They do nowadays. So, but yeah, Stroud, again, quite a few, regardless what you say. But this is who's leading our teams out of the gate. No one took Marcus. Well, Jim, I'll put that up there real quick just so he can see it. I'd be afraid night before the game he'd do something stupid and he'd be suspended for the game, so we wouldn't have a quarterback.
Hey, depending on who we playing.
It's true.
Depending on who we playing. We playing Miami. I put Marcus in. Go beat them up.
Hey,
kicking people.
Go beat them up, man. Do what you want to do to them.
Oh man,
JR. No.
Oh man. Oh, wait. We playing Louis. Yeah, he gonna go stomp on somebody, and he gonna get kicked out of the game.
Let's go.
Get him. We playing West Virginia. Hey, you got full reins to do whatever you want to do. We just want to win.
If it's a rivalry game or a bowl game, let's ride with Marcus.
Put him in. Let's go.
All righty. There's your quarterback. There's your quarterback one for the dream team. I'd love to see you guys as y'all start hearing it. Throw your quarterbacks, throw your tight ends, wide outs as we get to them. All right, let's go next. Let's start with tight ends. We said we're going to do 2 tight ends. Brian, like, what about 3? I'm like, no, 3's too easy. 3's too easy. So we go 2, Tally. I'll let you talk about yours first.
Yeah, I talked about all that stuff, looking at what they did in a Virginia Tech jersey. and then I put a quarterback in tight end. Logan Thomas and Greg Boone, man. Now, we did get to see Logan Thomas at tight end, which is his natural position. You know, he had to get thrust into playing quarterback, which did a good job at that. But just think about if we had Tyrod for that extra year and he was a tight end where he was more naturally playing. And then Greg Boone just was very versatile. You know what I'm saying? You watch what he did as a tight end and one of the wild turkey with him because he did play some quarterback in high school and things like that. Like, just a fun player to watch. Like, if you go back and watch Boone, he just was super fun to watch. Gritty, you know what I'm saying? Pause. I know we hate that word now. But, and somebody said, who would your OC be, man? I think we can get Fuente to be the OC and we'd be good to go. Like, we don't need him to be the head coach or recruit. Just be the OC and I think we'd be all right. So. But, yeah, my two was Logan Thomas and Greg Boone.
All right. Brian?
All right. I almost went with Greg Boone in place of Logan Thomas there, so shout out Tally for that. It needs to be studied, the quarterback to tight end trajectory at Virginia Tech, because we've had a lot of them. But I went with Jeff King. I played against Jeff King in high school. Dude was a beast. He stayed a beast at Virginia Tech. He was pretty damn solid as an NFL player. He's doing a lot of things up in the front office now. So been riding with Jeff King for a while. And I went with Logan Thomas here as well because I feel like just if I want to put the most versatile guy out there that can catch the ball, that matches up well as kind of like a joker, because, I mean, Jeff's more of the blocking guy. Yeah. Logan's going to give me a little bit of that joker tight end look that I want while still being big enough and capable enough when I need some short yardage runs. So go with Logan here, and obviously Jeff. Jeff is the stalwart that can do a little bit of everything from a tight end perspective.
All right, Shelton.
Yeah, so I kind of halfway punted on this. I got LT in there. You know, in my time as a VT fan, or a VT watcher, which is mostly the LT era, which when it started, we haven't really had a ton of elite tight end play, and so it's hard for me to comment on on guys that played before my era. I personally do not consider Bucky Hodges a tight end, or at least a true tight end. Some people might disagree, but that's just how I look at it. So I got LT in there just because he obviously had the production. But I think it was more kind of the earlier heyday of the Beamer era that we kind of had the top tight ends. But that was just before my time.
There was one in your era I thought you were going to put on here. I thought you were going to put James Mitchell, Big Stone Gap. Because
yes, James Mitchell, again, kind of a tweener though. So if you want to go like true tight end or listed tight end, you can debate that.
All right, I'm going last here. First one was Jeff King. Always remember Jeff King. Played at Pulaski, right? Pulaski, yeah, Pulaski.
Yes, sir.
I was getting ready to say K Spring, but no, that's where the other guy played. And I had Logan initially, and I didn't realize what somebody did, and I went and looked at some stats. And my second is the color analyst, the Greek guy himself, one of the funnest guys to talk to. If you are ever at a Hokie event and you see Mike Burnop, first of all, stop and talk to him. He will talk to you. He will give you the time of day. He's funny. He makes you laugh. But did y'all know he held that tight end record till Bucky broke it for over 40 years, almost 46 years. And in 1971 and 1972, that man combined for 80 receptions and over 1,000 yards with 5 touchdowns. It is 1972. So I know he can block. He's like 70, and the shape he's in his 70s puts me to shame in my 20s. So I went Mikey Burnop because I know he can block. Give me Jeff King, 2 receiving threats, 2 smart players. But it's so tough because, Sheldon, you probably pull it up real quick. Can you get us what Logan did as a tight end in the NFL?
Yep.
Do that real quick.
I'm surprised no one, at least at this point, I thought Sheldon might have thrown like a Dalton Keene in there.
Yes, I did think about Dalton Keene. I just didn't want to lump him in with the legends of the past that I did not have the privilege of watching.
That's fair. That's fair.
And Dalton had a good career. Nothing wrong with that. And if somebody throws Sam in there because they say, he played H-back and stuff, that's fine as well. But did you get it up yet, Shelton?
Yeah, so LT, he totaled 219 catches, just north of 2,000 yards, and 16 touchdowns. And most of his production obviously came with Washington in the last 4 years of his career.
4 years. And just think about that, because he was out, if I'm not mistaken, he did not play for 2 or 3 years while he was transitioning to playing tight end. So go back, because Tally, Brian, one of y'all said it. Sometimes voices ring together about that extra year. Tally, I think you said it. If he had played tight end that extra year, could you imagine if he had just came in and was a tight end right away? He probably would have held every record. First 3-round draft pick based on what he did later in his career, switching positions.
USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks, or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Visit USAA.com/bundle. Bundle savings are off total premium, not available in all states or in all situations. To qualify, auto policy must be active prior to property policy issue, subject to change. Restrictions apply. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
At Starbucks, we've more than doubled parental leave for full and part-time baristas, giving them up to 18 weeks of paid time off, so they can be there for early bedtimes, late nights, first laughs, and spend more time with the best company they know. At Starbucks, benefits like parental leave are just the start. Learn more about Starbucks industry-leading benefits at starbucks.com/partners.
I mean, that's unbelievable to do what he did.
Robbie's calling us out here. Robbie's calling us out.
Nothing makes sense. We switched everybody in there.
I told you what I was doing from Jump Street here. I said I was making the team that I want to play against everybody else. And if I'm doing that, the best tight end that, based on body of work that I've seen both for Virginia Tech and outside of Virginia Tech, I'm putting Logan Thomas at tight end.
Same. Not saying Bucky's not a tight end because he plays the position, but if I'm creating a team, I'm putting him at a wide receiver position.
He was listed as a wide receiver in Fuente's offense.
Right. And then the people that I have as a wide receiver on this dream team just fit this team better. Great deep ball option. And he did great production at Virginia Tech. Great player. So not taking anything away from Bucky. Bucky was a great player, but
Bucky could get open and Bucky could come down with a big catch. Bucky was awful after the catch. He was going
to slide down and catch it. Like every time
he was going to get it, he was going to go down, or he was going to get it and he was already in the end zone.
Oh yeah, and that's okay. So again, it's not like he did anything wrong, but it's just the tight ends that you want.
Low.
You want to be as a tight end. For me, you want these tight ends to be able to block and catch and be versatile. The two that I have can do that. Just what it is. And yes, Robbie, Curtis can put that up.
I'm putting it up.
Fair.
Oh, everybody's in feelings tonight. Hey, listen, I do say this before as we wrap up the tight end room is every guy we've got on there could probably block their asses off. Logan showed it again in minimal time in Washington that he was a willing blocker. And again, that's going away. So to me, if you can find one of those guys that can do that, it's unbelievable. Let's move over to the offensive line. And Brian, who is your 7?
All right. No particular order. Actually, I'll give you in a particular order. This is my starting 5. Dwayne Brown. I'm going to put him at right. I'm going to put Christian Darrisaw at left.
Okay.
Give me Jake at center. Let's go Wyatt right, Will left. And then I've got Jim Pine and Eugene Chang coming off my bench here.
All right.
Arguably I'd say not even arguably, literally the two best centers that Virginia Tech has ever seen on here. Arguably the two best, tackles. I'll say I'll throw three in there. And then you got Wyatt Teller, Will Montgomery, the two best true guards that we've ever had. So I don't think that's too controversial, but that's my 7.
All right. Shelton.
All right, so we'll start with our tackles. Dwayne Brown, pretty self-explanatory. Darisaw, again, just in my time watching, the most purely talented lineman we've had in that span. Just his physical tools, the hips, the foot speed, just incredible. I also went with Don Oaks. Now, Don Oaks is a little bit of a throwback as a history guy. So he played at Tech back in the late 1950s. He was an NFL draft pick in 1961. So I kind of just threw him in there as kind of a bonus to give a shout out to the old heads there. But he's in there as a tackle, and then Jim Pine, Jake Grove at center, and then Wyatt Teller and Will Montgomery over at the guard position. That's kind of my 7 there.
All right, I'll go up next. There's a trend here because the two best tackles we've ever seen was Dwayne Brown and Christian Darisaw. And then it looks almost similar to Brian's. I think Jake Grove is – I think if Jake Grove had not – what is it? He fucked up his hip, right? What did Jake Grove fuck up? Because he played like 6 years and then all of a sudden he just retired. Jake Grove was unbelievable center. Like, you don't win the Remington and not be good because that's one of those things that you win. It's like you're technically unbelievable because they don't give that to anybody. Right. Wyatt Teller, one of the guys like from Jump Street, from the second he got recruited, it was like he's going to be a great player. And he was a great player. He continues to be a great player. My third one was my switch one. I love Derek Smith. Some of the stories we've heard from Dwight talking about Derek Smith, a leader and a flexible guy, could play right tackle, could play guard. And knowing, success in the league and, battling cancer, knowing he's fighting that, you've got a dog in him. He gonna make people fight. And then the same Jim Pine. If there had been a Remington in 1993-94, Jim Pine would have won the Remington. He was the best center in the country. And Eugene Chung, one of the more underrated guys if you look back through history. First team All-American, first round draft pick, played like 7 years, coached in the league for a while. And there's still a few guys.
Is it Chung or Chang?
Chung. It's Chung. It's a typo.
I was gonna say we got both of them here. I thought it might have been. Hey, I thought we had both of them on the team.
All right, Tally.
I literally just said Shelton put. Whatever Shelton put it. Because realistically, for me, it's Dwayne Brown and Christian Darisaw. Then also, I did want Wyatt Teller in there, but I also did kind of want some throwback guys. But I didn't really, want to. Because when you think about offensive line, of course, you want some nasty, we just running the ball down your throat type guys. So when Shelton put his list up, I went back and looked at some of these guys, and I was like, that's pretty good, Shelton. Thank you, man. Thank you for giving me the blast from the past. So just give me what Shelton put. So, yeah, man, if you look at those guys and what they did on the field, it makes the people that you have back in the skill positions job much easier, because when you start to look at some of the players that blocked for, just say the quarterbacks that we have on the list, some of those guys was good, but as a line altogether, I don't think anybody played with a line like this. So, you know what I'm saying? What would it look like for somebody to be behind that?
Yeah, and I'll throw this up, and often underspoken Render, you talking about nasty? He was nasty. He wanted to fight people. The other ones, Coach Robbie, he hadn't put them on here because he probably ain't got the list. He missed a couple other guys. This is the all-name one right here. Buzz Nutter. Now, y'all laugh, But do your Google research here, and
I'm scared to Google that.
No.
Also, Robbie in there with the Ed Wang reference, and we got Kyle Chung in there too.
Kyle Chung, yeah.
The Wang Chung connection.
But if you want to know about basically who Buzz Nutter was, he played in the same time that Shelton's guy did. Don Oaks did, late 50s. Got drafted by the Colts, played for 11 years in the league between the Colts to Steelers from 1954 to 1965. So tells you probably how good he was. You know, somebody trying to be funny. LeVar not trying to be funny. I dangle with Todd. I thought about putting Todd because Todd was one of those versatile guys who played center and guard. And there you go, Buzz Nutter, multiple world championships. Oh, JR trying to be funny.
JR out here with Parker Clement. He is the dream team if you want your quarterback injured by offensive line.
True. And there's probably some other guys too. And again, we're not hitting everybody, but you start thinking about it. And it's good to see like what this does is you have conversations and like a Don Oaks gets brought up or people forget about Eugene Chung or people forget about a Buzz Nutter from, yesterpast. And it's like there's been a lot of good players that have went through. And there's a picture. You go to Wikipedia, Brian, might make you cry a little bit. It's a picture of Nutter standing up somebody while Johnny U's making a pass, man. So
you go back and look at what I think Robbie put. Yeah, what Robbie put at Blake DeChristopher as well.
Yeah,
like that's a great pick.
It is a great pick.
I think he was 2-time All ACC or maybe All American. No, 2-time first team All ACC is what he was. So crazy.
He was good.
Production and some of the linemen that we have had come through. We need some more. Next question, though, I got this for Brian. And I know it's a lot of what ifs in this. So this is just a strictly what if. X goes to Auburn, has a great year, and gets drafted top 2 rounds, right?
Yep.
That happens. If he had the same production as he does there at Virginia Tech, gets drafted first 2 rounds, does he go on this list anywhere?
That's tough. That's
that
tough,
is
man.
Tough.
At that point, he's probably pushing Eugene Chung from a productivity standpoint,
right?
Yeah.
Based on where he got drafted, based on output. That's a really good question. I mean, I would definitely consider it. I would have to sit down and really kind of compare the two at that point. If he was back this year, he had another productive year, got drafted 2nd round or higher, yeah, he'd definitely be in the conversation.
Chris say no.
Yeah, Chris is okay. So Chris said no.
No, with a lot of periods behind it.
I think that's Chris shaking his head. And it was DeChristopher was 3 all-time ACC, 2-time first team All ACC. Yeah. So
that dude was good.
He was good. Just won't one like him again.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's true. There's been nobody better than them. So, I got somebody mentioning Trey Turner, and as we put up Trey Turner, let's go to the wide receiver room because we go in 5. We're being realistic here. And Shelton, I'll let you lead the way on this room.
All right. So once again, respect to my elders. Some of these guys I did not see play in their primes, but we'll start off. Andre Davis, obviously, self-explanatory. One of the key players of that '99 team. Antonio Freeman had some crazy production, and then some two more recent guys, Isaiah Ford and Danny Cole. To me, those are 2 guys where, I look at the big playability, the toughness, leadership aspect of it, the work ethic. Like if I'm in the trenches and I need a big play, I really want those guys on my team. And then obviously Ernest Wilford as well, another kind of OG throwback. So kind of got a little balance here with some younger guys and some older guys. I think it's pretty good lineup.
All right. And I think on this one, y'all are going to see a trend of a couple guys always popping up. I'm right there with you. My top guy, though, that I always think about first is Antonio Freeman. What, like you said, what he did in the 90s was unbelievable. What he did in the NFL, I mean, the guy was all pro, was really good. Then Andre Davis, I mean, like somebody said it earlier, that was Mike's only wide receiver, like legitimate wide receiver threat that year. Sharon Stith was the running back. But yeah, and Eddie Royal. And so, like, Shelton missed that era, but that era with Morgan and Eddie and Hyman and Clowney, I mean, that was a tough one to do. But I think Eddie was so versatile. It was like right out the gate, too. Y'all remember he was a freshman. It was just like, boom, man, that's a good one, Jim. I like that. Ernest Wilford, 6'4", big son of a bitch, could go above you, could run by you, could do whatever he wanted. And then Isaiah Ford. I think if we had been really good in 14 and 15, I think Isaiah Ford might be like, I think he'd be on another stratosphere. But he had that 1 year in 16 where he was just dominant. There we go. We're getting some run here. Who's next? Brown or Tally?
We getting some deep cuts here too. I love this.
Woo,
Tally's next.
boys, Xavier. Whoa. There you go, Andretti.
We had a Brian Steele sighting.
There you go.
Yeah, I've seen that. I'm just sitting there reading. Oh, I'm next.
Yeah.
So like you said, you're gonna see most of the same names. I want it to be a little bit different because I really enjoyed one guy on this list. Of course, we didn't get to see him as much as we would have want to, but Damon Hazleton. Just watching him play, watching his production from that wide receiver position, made him one of my favorite players to watch. As well as Isaiah Ford, Antonio Freeman, all of these guys that are here. I kind of was in a pickle with Ernest Wilford because I was thinking, can I slide him into the tight end position? Can I slide him into the tight end position?
I would not have argued you again.
Yeah. So if I would have put him in the tight end position to be able to give me another wide receiver on this list, maybe just move LT off, put Wilford there. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put him off on it. I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna follow the rules. So Ernest Wilford, I mean, Curtis probably summed it up the best. Big SOB, running past people, running over people. Eddie Royal could do it all. I mean, great slot wide receiver guy. I mean, what else do you ask for? If you got a line and you got a quarterback, somebody on that list is getting open. Yeah. Somebody's taking the ball to the house. So great to watch these guys.
I'm going to piggyback off Tally here and I'm going to call out Robbie real quick. Ernest Wilford belongs in the tight end room more than Bucky Hodges. But he's not on my list. Robert. He's not on my list, though, because Jim pointed out.
Yeah, that makes some people cry.
It does. It hurts. It's painful. So I got Andre Davis, all-time per catch numbers, man. It's hard to argue with 27 and a half per reception in the season in 99, and that's what he did. That's ridiculous. The production that Freeman had in the 90s is insane. Eddie Royal's numbers here. I don't know why I got Wyatt in front of Isaiah Ford's name here. Blame the typo. Did your son make
that choice?
Yeah.
That's what I'm blaming it on. Eddie Royal, versatile. Do it all, man. He's going to be in my slot. Isaiah Ford, 11 touchdown receptions in 2015, 24 career, man. You talk about production. The guy's getting in the end zone, but he's still able to do it in all areas of the field as well. And Jared Boykin, all-time yards, man. And I think he is a guy that just from a production standpoint, if you need a first down, he can get it for you.
And hands. The biggest hands you ever did see.
The obsession that the color guys had talking about Jared Boykin's hands in a broadcast is unprecedented, man.
Every time they talked about the hands.
Yeah.
Like, what are you insinuating?
You don't want to get slapped by this guy.
No. You don't want to get blocked by. You know, somebody put it up here like you got like Cam Phillips is the all-time leading receiver. I mean, there's so many. Brian Still. I mean, there's still a part of me that goes back 30 years, December 31st this year when Brian Still's house that punt. And I know that's not wide receiver, but Brian Still's still there. Who else? Who else are we missing? Anybody I'll throw one.
LeVar put up Darrell Roberts on there.
Darrell, yeah. Darrell.
Hey, I mean, if we're looking at numbers, you know, we talked about Andre Davis's per catch in 99, but you got Ricky Scales catching balls from Bruce Arians for 20.1 for his career.
I know.
That's crazy.
In the 70s. I'll throw you one, and I forgot to mention. What about Harper? Remember Justin Harper?
Yeah.
Harper. That was so good back in the 05. Always Carroll Dale. Don't ever forget the name. If you're a new Hokie fan, go look him up. Unbelievable player with Tech. Unbelievable player with Packers.
Yeah, those mid 2000s, like you had 4 receivers that were legitimate NFL talent. It was hard to get them the number of catches that you would want them to have because you had 4 guys that were very, very talented in that group.
Right. I want to throw this to all three. I'm going to pitch it to Shelton first. Shelton, if Jalen Lane had spent all 4 years at Virginia Tech, would he be on this list for you?
I mean, I think so. If you pencil him in a slot, I mean, I just think based on like his speed, the physical attributes, like he was already, because like I was when we were doing this this exercise, I was looking up the all-time receiver list, all-time receiving stats at VT, and I think Jalen was top 20-ish, in total catches, despite the fact they only played 2 years here, which is really impressive. So I think if you extrapolate that to 4 years, I mean, he would be one of the most productive slot receivers of all time.
Yeah. He's got all the physical attributes that makes him good. We didn't get to see him return kicks as much as we probably could have if the team was what it needed to be. So just different things that he did does. Great question. Gives you the opportunity to even mention his name with some of these. For him only being here 2 years, I think he's gonna have a good NFL career. I was hoping that the Titans would pick him up. I told y'all, please let us get him, but of course we didn't. So
Andretti,
Andretti, and mentioned Marcus Davis on here as well.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see how, like, as we move forward in the transfer portal era, like, how do we quantify transfer production? And I mean, I think we're going to have a little bit of a conversation about that in this next window here, but it's going to be interesting because you're talking about 1 or 2 years of production with your team, whereas usually most of these guys that are on this list had at least 3 years, 3 productive seasons with the squad, right? So by default, most of these transfer guys are going to have at least 1 year handicap.
Since we're doing so much what ifs, right? Okay. Can I just say, Curtis, you only get, I'm going to start a timer. Okay. About 5 minutes. What if 2026, no, not 2026, 2016 team comes back?
Y'all know that I want to do.
We lose the Clemson by what, 7 points?
About 7? No, yeah. 7, yep, because it was always the Fuente always said, if we score it, we go for 2 because fuck overtime. That would have been Cam's back, Isaiah's back, Bucky's back,
Gerard's
back. The defense, because what everybody looks at is the mirrorism of the defense. Because in 2016, the offense was top 25. First of all, we'd never seen anything like it. Like we didn't know what to do. Like we scoring, even low point game, we get into the 20s. The next year, if y'all remember, that was a top 10 defense, I believe, with Tremaine, with the Emmons brothers. The what if about 2017, and there's multiple years because you've already talked about 2011. That's one of my what ifs. 2017, we went 9-3.
Mm-hmm.
And the losses were to, golly, pull it back up. Clemson.
Georgia Tech and
Georgia Tech bullshit.
Yeah,
we lost
Miami.
to Miami.
Yep.
It's tough not to say that team wouldn't have been at least 2 wins better.
Right.
But I'll throw. Let me throw this one at y'all before we get into running backs. Michael Bix doesn't fuck up his ankle in 2000. Do we win a national championship? Because he was such a better passer that second year.
Does he win the Heisman?
Does he win the Heisman? Does he win a national championship? Those are the 3 seasons. I've always said I could probably sit here and Shelton with the data, people watching it, bring people like Dwight on, people that played on those teams. Those 3 teams are the biggest what ifs in Virginia Tech history.
What if?
Because if Mike doesn't hurt his ankle, hey, where he at? He always sitting right here. Wasn't you, King? You wouldn't have beat us in 2000 with that man. He already put you down once. He'd have put you out to pass your second time.
Dang, no King.
Oh, he knows it's true. He knows it's true because we fought them tooth and nail without him that game.
Yeah.
He might have been a baby, but all right. Tally, you're going to make me write another episode. We're going to be sitting here for 3 hours talking about the what-if seasons.
And I already knew it.
Hey,
Bass has asked a couple times, Brian, who is going to be the damn wide receiver 1 for this year? We don't know, man. We think it may be Aiden Green, but Brian, who is it going to be? Who's going to be the wide receiver 1 this year?
I think it's going to have to be Aiden Green. It's going to have to be one of the 2 Greens, I would imagine. I just don't know. We got one guy that's a known commodity, but he was, kind of 3rd in the pecking order, really 4th if you kind of add in tight end production in the pecking order from a passing perspective. But at the same time, we got a whole lot of guys coming in that, 2 of them have been productive at other spots, but haven't always been that healthy. You got Selden coming in that, he might be able to be productive in the slot, but we don't know exactly what he looks like being a full-time wide receiver. So that's still to be determined. So, my gut says it's going to be Aiden Green, but honestly, I don't know.
There's your answer, Bass.
Well, that's his answer.
From Brian.
Well, if Donovan Green can stay healthy, with the system we're going to be running now, I think Donovan Green could be wide receiver 1, stat-wise at the end. Now, Shelton, you made a frown on that. Go on.
Oh no, that wasn't intentional. Anything.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like Curtis. He don't hurt it.
That was an indeterminate frown.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with your point though. We just don't know.
He was crunching numbers as you was talking. He's probably got so many stats going on in his head right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what he was crunching. He was crunching. This guy's been out so many games, Curtis. He's not gonna play a full season, so you losing your ever-loving mind doing that. All right, we finally got here because this one, there are so many ways you could go with this one. You got Robbie's throwing this up, including Mike Vick.
Robbie crazy.
Now,
not a crazy take. I'm just saying, Robbie, you crazy.
Hey, Kenny Lewis, shout out here.
Kenny Lewis.
I think Robbie's going with MV7 and the all GW Danville back.
The all GW team. Because he saw him run by him so much. All right.
Oh, Kenny Lewis. I saw Kenny Lewis run by
you. Saw Kenny good too, right? Yeah, this is a great podcast topic. That's why it's been fitting and we waited for it. I get to lead the running back one because I thought of the idea. And for me, I want sub 4.4 speed. If they touch it and you miss them, they gone. Kevin Jones, KJ, still the best back that has ever come through. David Wilson, the man that still runs by Robbie in his sleep on the sidelines. And the new blood, because I got to see him for 2 seasons, and you saw him hit holes. And when he got to the second level, you won't stop him. I love Bashal Tuden. He's one of those guys that if I walk into a place and I see, what is it? He was 33, right?
Yep.
I'd be tempted to buy 33. I got 5 in the closet. Shout out Tyrod, but 33, I could buy that number.
All right, so we got this out of the way with having a transfer in the dream team.
Yep.
You know what? Like I don't have a problem with that, especially a running back, because running back is a position that most guys only have 2 productive years before they're going to the draft anyway.
Right.
Historically.
Yeah.
So, this isn't eye-popping because he still had 2 productive years at Virginia Tech. So, no problems there. I went a little bit different. I think, Curtis, you got a little bit more balance than I do. You got speed, but
0.3 speed.
But Tootin is still good between the tackles, can break tackles very well. So you still have that in the short yardage perspective. I got Ryan Williams in short yardage role here because I've got Wilson and KJ on here as well. I went with a lot of speed here, but I think Williams is also versatile enough where he can get the job done in those short yardage and goal line situations here. But David Wilson is up there in terms of running back balance that I've ever seen, being able to stay upright when contacting defenders. Being able to turn a corner. KJ is just, you talk about Michael Vick being electric. KJ was electric at the running back position, and Ryan Williams was really just doing everything, but with enough, breakaway to really be a game changer. So that's my 3. And you get a little bit of versatility there with Wilson because he can run some kicks back for you and make some big plays on special teams.
Tally.
This episode is brought to you by Mott's Applesauce. So you're looking for a snack your kid will love and you can feel great about? Give him a Mott's no sugar added applesauce pouch. Made from real, delicious apples and a good source of vitamin C, too. Perfect for tossing in a lunchbox or grabbing for on the go. Mott's. Real apples make real good applesauce. Learn more about Mott's no sugar added applesauce at Mott's.com.
Make your next vacation unforgettable on Royal Caribbean's newest ship, Star of the Seas. It's everything you've loved about every family vacation you've ever been on, with mind-blowing thrills at the largest water park at sea, 7 onboard pools for every level of chill, more than 40 ways to dine and drink, and even more to enjoy at our award-winning private island, Perfect Day at Coco Cay. This is the new Star of the Seas. Click or tap the banner to find out more.
So, don't jump on me. I knew a lot of names was already going to be taken, but I had to put certain names in there. Ryan Williams is probably my favorite Virginia Tech running back to ever watch. Little sweetness. Probably my favorite. Somebody else put Darren Evans up here. I was, thinking about all of these guys in the backfield together. David Wilson, Darren Evans. Darren Evans doesn't get hurt, whatever. Anyway, Ryan Williams, David Wilson, exactly what Brian said. Watching him was ridiculous. Like his balance, getting to the corner. It looked like he looked like Michael Jackson. Like he was leaning. Remember when Michael Jackson did the dance where he was leaning, but staying upright? Like that's what David Wilson looked like when he was running the ball. And then I had to give a shout out to Khalil Herbert. I'm a big Khalil Herbert fan. I like Tootin a little bit better, just from what I've seen him watch, but I knew Curtis put it. So I had to give a shout out to Herbert just because we got Herbert in during COVID, and I feel like he was cheated. I feel like
we were cheated.
Nobody got the world didn't really get to see what that man could do in a Virginia Tech jersey. Like he was so exciting to watch, man. He was great balance, super speed, like just a great running back to watch. So had to throw him in there with so many backs that you could put in. I see people putting up like going back, looking at Lee Suggs, Brandon Orr, all of these guys, and it's like, dang, man, who do I put in here? Like that's probably the deepest position that Virginia Tech. That's the hardest for me out of everything to pick, even more than quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Because realistically, when you look at quarterback, you're just like, we're gonna put Michael Vick in there. You know what I'm saying? Like most of the time, most people's gonna do that. But when you look at running back and you ask 10 people, give me your top 3 running backs, all of the lists usually are gonna be somewhat different. just because of all the production you've had in that position.
Yeah, before Sheldon goes here, Tally, I want to give you a shout out for Herbert, man, because especially the context of it, because imagine like we saw that moment with Tootin at UVA running it back and going in there. Imagine like all them times where Herbert got to the edge of that one cut outside zone and just shot the gap and then hit the track finish line. And if he could run up into the stands and actually get some interaction with fans, that would have went so hard, man.
Yeah, for real. I'm telling you right now. I know with Curtis. I mean, I know Shelton's got to go here just a second, but I know we got to get ready. I'm go ahead and saying right now we got to get Robbie on here for defense. He's already amped up, man. He is amped.
Robbie is amped. Robbie, the invitation will be to you, and we'll bring you on here. Shelton, go.
All right. The first thing I want to say before I reveal my list is God bless Jim Cavanaugh. That man was a dog on the recruiting trail. He is responsible for almost all of the legendary running backs you'll see in Tech history. The best recruiter we've ever had by far. So praise be to Jim Cavanaugh for all the work he did. So my running back list now. Lee Suggs, I mean, nothing really needs explanation there. He had a 27 touchdown season, I believe, in 2000 something. But he was Ashton Jeanty before Ashton Jeanty was Ashton Jeanty. So Suggs was a GOAT. Khalil Herbert, now he was more of a zone running back, so I think what separated him was his vision and his ability to find those holes, get to the second level, see the safeties, and kind of make those those reads. Not the biggest breakaway speed, but just had unparalleled vision. And then Kevin Jones also had a 22 touchdown season, I think, in 2003. Also a dog. So those are my big three.
I like this. Yeah, the way Thugs ran, there wouldn't be people that slows him down today. But we're missing just so many people, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the crazy part about this. Like, and we all have our three different ones, and, we spill over and all that. But, like, Brandon Orr. I mean, always forget about Orr. Always forget about Humes.
Yep.
And,
the entire backfield of 2010 you could put on this list.
You could. And we had a great season, but with those three guys in the backfield, it should have been a significantly even more.
I think somebody mentioned earlier, was it Curtis or Brian that was talking about Cyrus Lawrence?
Cyrus Lawrence.
Yeah,
Cyrus Lawrence. 37-46 is 37-67 is the number. All-time leading running back attack. Not even mentioned. And he could have did more damage if you look back in his stats. He only played 5 games in 1980 to his senior season.
Yep. His numbers were nuts. Like I said, he's on a squad with Bruce Smith. They were definitely the kingpins on either side of the ball there.
I mean, this is like, I'll throw a couple names out that we don't think about that were really good running backs, like Travion McMillan.
Yeah.
Remember Travion? Travion had a 1,000-yard season.
Ran him off.
Sharon Stiff, not even mentioned on here, rushed for 1,100 yards at 99 as running back one. Andre Kendrick had 800 or 900 yards that year. So this was like the toughest room. But it's also one of those rooms, depending on how you looked at it. Like, I think you look at all of our lists, all three of ours, it's like, I told you, I all wanted speed. I feel like, my opinion, I think, Shelton, you got like the most balanced room. Because if you get down to the 3-yard line, there are no questions you are going to score a touchdown with a running back. No question. Just like Sheldon scored.
Yeah.
But like, I think Bassmaster put it up a little while ago. This was fun. Like, this was a lot of fun because you start going in there and you start thinking about it. And now I'm looking back. Tally, look at the screen. Look what Jim got here.
Yeah, they can't even think about
Untouchables with Mike.
Crazy.
Untouchables with Mike would have been crazy.
Yeah.
So we appreciate y'all definitely chiming in tonight. Again, this was a lot of fun. We are going to come back. I don't know when. It might be next month. It might be July. We'll do defense. Robbie, you've been invited to come on with this one. Anything else? Apparently, per a text from our music man Jason, and per New King, I guess the Knicks choked another one away tonight while we were sitting here talking.
Oh Lord, I ain't paid attention to nothing. Yeah, they did.
Of course they did.
Yep, they down 3-1.
Were they down now? Were they down? Let's see. I'm pulling up some here.
Yep.
Guess so.
3-1.
3-1. Yep. That's too funny. All right. Well, boy, there we go. There we go. All right. Well, if y'all got nothing else, let's wrap up the night so we can all get in bed by 11:30. That wraps up this episode of the Boundary Corner Podcast, brought to you by the Counts Family Pharmacy in Blacksburg. I'm Curtis Wilson.
I'm Brian Siegler.
Jonathan Talley.
And I'm Sheldon Moss.
We are part of the College Huddle Network. Check our website out, boundarycornerbt.com, to listen to all of our episodes. While you're there, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, subscribe on your favorite podcast source, along with YouTube. Continue growing there. Always fun to see y'all on YouTube out there. Also, check Jason Long Music out to check all of his live dates, which I think he has one. They have one this week. Hold on. I always like to say when he has a live event somewhere, I always like to promo that out.
He's got something coming up, but I don't know if it's this week.
June 8th, Mango's Bar and Grill, the Harmony for Hope for supporting lymphoma research. That will be June 8th. He'll be playing 12-1 down there. Anything else, boys, before we wrap it up?
No, man, just appreciate everybody for joining tonight. It's been a lot of fun chopping this up and getting everybody's input on what we think and what y'all think.
Yep.
Yeah, I got a little bit of homework for you, chat. I think Bassmaster might have put it up earlier. He wants to know what the spread will be going into the South Carolina game. So just for fun, do a little research, let us know what y'all think the spread's going to look like moving into that game. We'll talk about it one day.
We will as we draw closer to the end of August. And with that being said, we appreciate y'all out there for listening, for chiming in. And as always, let's go.
Hokies.
Popsicles, sprinklers, a cool breeze. Talk about refreshing. You know what else is refreshing this summer? A brand new phone with Verizon. Yep, get a new phone on any plan with Select Phone Trade-in and My Plan. And lock down a low price for 3 years on any plan with My Plan. This is a deal for everyone, whether you're a new or existing customer. Swing by Verizon today for our best phone deals. 3-year price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate only. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.